Welcome into this Tuesday edition, Blue Sky Live, here with you this morning. Chase Parham, Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio. Ole Miss baseball starting a 5-game week tonight, this afternoon. Arkansas State, 4 o'clock. Arkansas State 3-0 on the season, coming off a sweep of the Seawolves of Stony Brook over the weekend.
I actually realize I know one of the Arkansas State players.
Do you?
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Little Rock.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Arkansas State in town today. Jackson State in town tomorrow, 4 o'clock on that one. Owen Kelly, the St. Louis transfer, will get the ball for the Rebels this afternoon. And then Missouri State, the Bears in town for 3 this weekend. Weather fantastic during the week. Rain 95%, I think, on Saturday, so could be dodging that a little bit here over the weekend as well. The women's basketball team hosting Tennessee tonight, 6 o'clock. I think ESPNU. I'll check that and make sure here in a second. The on paper most winnable game of these 4 that the women have, losing to Kentucky the other day, and then LSU and South Carolina coming up Thursday and Saturday in Oxford, Thursday and Sunday in Oxford and Columbia, respectively. So that's on the menu. We'll talk about that and other things coming up here today on a show brought to you every day by Blue Sky locations all over the state of Mississippi, up and down I-55, throughout North Mississippi, down to the epicenter in Macomb. The car wash, fuel up stop in Byram, and then locally with the Oxford Exxon, including Sweet Daddy's locations all over the state as well. Brisket lunch specials, pulled pork sized desserts, and plenty more in the Sweet Daddy's and Blue Sky. And again, we're coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are. Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours, right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do. Let's hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Corey and the people at Clark Ford want to be your car guy. They want to be your truck guy. They'll prove that to you when you make the call. 662-257-1900. Guests join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi, providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit campbellclinicoxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
Yeah, I'm reading from the stream here as we're getting started this morning. Somebody, Tyler, I don't know if you're making a joke or not. This is when Stephen A. coming to town. He had the negative comments about Oxford or Mississippi or whatever it was. I don't know, 2 months ago, something like that. Coach Yo went on his podcast, I believe, following that, and then he had a lot of offers from Robin and Keith and other people to come to town and see it for himself. And maybe it makes me a contrarian, but I don't really get rolling out the red carpet for somebody just because they were negative about the place. I don't know. I mean, it's not like some huge opinion. I don't know that I care that much, but I do think I disagree in some way that you make some A+ effort to have somebody see a play. Like I just to me, it's almost like counterintuitive a little bit. So I highly doubt he ever shows up. It doesn't really matter. But as I was reading the stream, just a quick thought there as we're going.
I can't say I've ever given that a thought. I'd have to give it.
I mean, when you want somebody to have a different opinion, but Stephen A's whole gist is very hyperbolic opinions in every direction on a sports level. So it's like, okay.
The race thing is, in my opinion, severely overplayed in our country.
In every way.
Across the board.
Austin, appreciate you. Morning, guys. Love just take on the logical choice Sac State made by choosing the MAC as its landing place. Nothing says MAC like Sacramento, California. Yeah, I was reading about it and kind of making fun of it on the message board this morning because their president or AD or somebody put out a statement with different figures that they believed or they were touting monetarily that just simply make no sense whatsoever. I'll read it here. I pulled it back up. This coming from Ross Dellinger, I believe. The school will take no conference distribution. They will cover air travel cost of visiting MAC teams and pay $6 million of the $18 million entry fee in year one. Sacramento State President Luke Wood, quote, this is A historic moment for Sacramento State, a bold leap into the future. Our move to the FBS represents more than a change in classification. It's a declaration of who we are and where we're going. We're evaluating our university, our university, our student athletes, and the entire greater Sacramento region onto the national stage, committed to competing, leading, and winning at the highest level. Says that entrance fees paid by game guarantees and other football revenue. Football is paying for football. No student fees and no general fund used. And then the two numbers that are laughable: an estimated economic impact of $975 million and a national broadcast value of $675 million over the next 5 years. Sac State games now to be on ESPN and CBS Sports. They'll be in the EA Sports video game. Mm-hmm. They will generate revenue that will help academics, and 15% of the net revenue to go towards offering more classes beginning in 2027. So I'm making fun of it. But if you're moving up to D1, you get in wherever you can get in. I mean, or FBS, sorry, not Division One. So whatever.
I mean, I said this on McCready and Siskey yesterday. They desperately wanted a seat at the table, and they were offered a small seat in the corner of the kids' table, but it's at the big table, so they took it. Probably wanted the Mountain West instead, couldn't get it. Northern Illinois went to the Mountain West. That opened
North
up
North Dakota. Oh, you mean Northern Illinois?
Yeah, Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
Then it opened up a spot in the MAC, and they went.
The North Dakota State move makes more sense to me in my head, but Sacramento State's been trying to get involved. They threw a lot of NIL around last offseason. They got the kid from Mississippi to commit out there. We'll see. But I find the press release economic numbers ridiculous. I mean, there are positives, but you are not getting $1 billion in economic impact off a move to the MAC.
The word you're looking for is propaganda.
You are.
And, it's there. People that buy that, there will be people there that will
jump all in over it.
They will jump in on those numbers as if they're real. And those are probably the numbers that if everything goes incredibly well and exactly as planned, that's the maximum number. But I don't know. Who knows what the MAC looks like in 5 years?
18 months. Yeah, who knows any of it?
No idea.
Robert Duvall passing away yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. He was
titan of the industry in every way.
Hell of an actor.
Yeah, you go through his filmography, and it's every genre. It spans decades. He's in critically acclaimed movies, Godfather, Godfather 2, all the way down to some of your popcorn favorites, Four Christmases, Days of Thunder, Harry Hogg, and Days of Thunder. I did not. I guess I should have done the math. I did not realize he was in 95. Is that correct? That's what I saw yesterday.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think 95.
Wow. He was great. He was a titan.
Oh. He passed away. Jesse Jackson passed away at some point in the last 12 hours. I'm not sure what time. I saw the release or the news story, if you will, this morning. Yeah, he's 80. He died at 95 or whatever. Dustin Hoffman's 88. I looked that up yesterday because I was curious. Oh. Hoffman's 88.
I remember Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie.
Yeah. Blake says, disagree with Chase here. It isn't to change the perception of a school, but much more. It's kind of an analogy for all outsiders to understand that things change. I get it. I don't know. I have like a weird, I don't find Stephen A. to have the stature necessary for that level of effort, I guess is my point. I just kind of have some sort of general disagreement with somebody says a bunch of wrong things, they're misinformed, and they're bloviating, and thus we're going to spend time and resources to bring them in and cater to them in some way and make them this celebrity that we have to get approval from over the course of a weekend. I don't know. It's just where my head is on it.
Yeah. I just don't have any real thoughts on it other than at some point you have to stop caring what everyone thinks. It's freeing when you do. And then from a institutional standpoint, I find it, or a city standpoint, or anything else, I find it very difficult to believe that him bloviating on a morning show actually is impacting anything. If someone, I mean, if for example, some young person out there doesn't take a visit to Ole Miss because Stephen A. Smith said it's racist, they weren't coming anyway. I guess that's kind of my point.
Well, and not to that level of shock jock that Stephen A. did, but Colin Cowherd does something like this basically every 3 days. I mean, Colin, who used to be maybe my favorite sports talk show host, he has become a very West Coast centric talking head that is incredibly uninformed on most college football topics in every way, and he kind of takes some level of those shots weekly at this point. So I guess that's some of my point as well.
I just think it's harder for anybody now. This isn't defending him at all. I don't watch him. Yeah, I think it's harder now than ever before for anyone to be truly a national voice. Things are so provincial everywhere. Things are so laser focused on one school or one league or whatever that I don't know that anybody can truly be a national voice, especially when your assignment is to be controversial every day, to create talking points for the rest of the network for the rest of the day, and that is absolutely what their assignment is. And I don't know that I don't know that you can really do that.
He gets paid millions to be a daily lightning rod.
Yeah. And so you have to have, there's no way that anybody really wakes up every day with that many opinions on that many things.
Because I don't even buy that he believed it. I believed he just said something he knew would get some reaction that day.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I guess maybe. That's the point. I don't even necessarily half the time put any thought into it's a true opinion.
I mean, I haven't seen what he said. I haven't even read what he said. So I just don't know. Like, I don't know what he said. I'll probably get criticized for what I just said a minute ago, even though it's what I truly believe.
I think he did. I think he was on the side of Trinidad the other day. I was kind of looking at it. So, anyway, whatever. I don't follow much of that.
I mean, I'm trying to think if there are any national voices that I listen to with any degree of regularity.
In the sports realm or period?
Yeah, well, period. In the sports realm, I like Simmons. I like his show. But I don't know that I listen to it consistently. I haven't listened to Cowherd in years. I don't watch ESPN's morning shows.
Stephen A. makes about $40 million a year.
Yeah. I don't listen to Bayless. Nothing against him. I understand the job that they have. Their job is to sort of be circus clowns. And they're good at it. I like Russillo. I don't listen to him as much as I probably would like to.
I do like Russillo.
I like Russillo a lot.
But what you're describing...
But that's about it, really.
And what you're describing is the change in media, which is you listening to these people in podcast form. You theoretically like the people, their intelligence around topics, their entertainment value around topics. And people listen to a lot of podcasts for mostly... And by the way, from the $40 million for Stephen A., that's a $105 million over 5 years ESPN deal. He gets like $21 million over some kind of period of time from SiriusXM, and there's some other stuff too. That's not one outlet there, but that was a total combined guess. But no, you listen to podcasts, multiple things. It's either like how I listen to Rogan or somebody, it's guest dependent almost exclusively. I scroll through, I see if I have interest in the guest, and then I'll turn it on, and I either am somewhat handcuffed to it for a 45-minute run, so I listen no matter what, or I turn it off within 15 minutes if he gets into nothing but mixed martial arts that I just don't care about.
Right.
Which he does almost exclusively now. There's that. And then there's two, it's the people where you just simply like listening to them no matter what the hell they talk about. And I do that with Bill Simmons non-NBA. I just don't care enough to do that.
Yeah.
But anything else, I'll listen to him talk about paint drying on the wall, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But that's, in general, the two ways that people consume national media voices.
Yeah, he's kind of become one of my 2 or 3 NBA voices that I consume. I really like his NBA content. It's incredibly informed. I like him. I like Russillo, and I like Andrew Schlecht with The Athletic. Those are probably the 3 NBA voices that I consume the most, or at all. And then I just don't listen to much else. I'm. It's probably not great for what we do. Like we talked about this yesterday. Someone, we're paying the price for a basketball team being 3-9 right now, right? Because we're having to come up with content that's not basketball related because people don't want to talk about basketball in basketball season. But I just don't keep. It's not that I don't keep up. I don't listen to a lot of commentary in general. I'm good with those few guys. That's kind of it for me. I don't have a lot of time for other stuff. And I've caught myself, I've told you this before, especially here recently, I've caught myself, I'll go for an hour and a half walk with AirPods on and nothing going in my AirPods. Just silence.
Well, it's one of the reasons. I mean, I do more than that, but it's one of the reasons why I check so many newsletters and read so much in the morning, because otherwise I would not consume enough for the show in the mornings.
Yeah.
It would not happen.
Yeah.
And I'll take 30, 45 minutes and just run through a bunch of newsletters and make sure and kind of make sure I didn't miss something over the course of.
I wake up in the morning, look at the Wall Street Journal and look at The Athletic. It's wild how different my views are just a month removed basically from Twitter.
I don't have the exact quote for anybody that's really behind here.
Hey, Taylor, I'm gonna do this. Nope, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this now because this is 3 days in a row from Taylor. So I'm gonna handle this. Now put your phone down because I want you to hear me.
Oh, okay, I thought you were just going on.
Nope. I want you to hear me because we're gonna do this one time. I made a mistake. It was a month ago. I've owned it. I've not made any excuses. I had a bad moment. I owned it. I've owned it repeatedly. I said things I didn't mean. I was pissed off at a person, and I had something going on in my life involving one of my children. I don't know whether you have children or not, Taylor. I'm getting to something, so just hang tight. I don't know whether you do or don't, but had something going on with one of my kids. I was not in the best of moods. Had nothing to do with an NBA basketball game in the regular season. Nothing at all. Someone came at me, and I went after them where I knew it would hurt. Unfortunately for me, that was Ole Miss. I wish it had been the Boston Celtics or the New England Patriots or something along those lines, but I went after him. I've owned it. I haven't made excuses. I've owned it. Now, here's the deal. You can either accept that apology, which is great, or you cannot accept that apology. And if you don't accept it, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm cool with it. You can hate me. You can talk about me in other places. But here's the deal, Taylor. And I mean this sincerely. If I don't like your restaurant, I don't have to ever go back to it again. And I can tell all of my friends that Taylor's Grill sucks. And if there's a real Taylor's Grill out there, I apologize. I'm sure it's awesome. But here's what I probably can't do, Taylor. I probably can't come into your restaurant day after day after day, stand up on the table, and tell all the other patrons how bad it sucks. You're probably going to kick me out. So that's the reality. That's where we are. I've apologized. I owned it. It was a terrible look. I feel, frankly, shitty about it. But a month later, I've kind of forgiven myself. I've given myself peace. I've changed a lot of the things that I do. I don't consume social media. I'm not on it. I don't let people come at me. I don't let them get to me. I spend a lot less time on, and it's made me, frankly, a much happier person. Now, that's either a good enough explanation for you or it's not. And if it's not, so be it. But you don't get to come here and do that. And that's kind of your, for lack of a better word, warning. Because you don't like me. That's clear. You said I suck. Here's the truth, Taylor. At this point, I kind of think you suck. So we're good. Either let it go or don't. But you don't get to come here and do it. Period. I've apologized. I've owned it. I've said I was sorry. I'm very sorry. But I can't change it. I don't have a time machine. If I did, I'd go way back. But I don't. So that's either enough for you and for others, or it's not. And if it's not, that's okay. You don't owe me that. But you don't get to do this. Simple as that.
You got the applause button on the board? Or
No, I mean, I'm I mean that sincerely. I made a mistake. I had some stuff going on. I made a mistake. I wasn't in the best frame of mind. I made a mistake. There are lots of people out there that have made lots of mistakes.
Yeah,
I didn't get drunk and go run over a neighborhood kid. I didn't go kill a pack of puppies. And I'm kind of to the point where I think some people, and maybe Taylor's one of these people, might be overreacting a little. But you're free to overreact. You're free to think what you want. Your prerogative. I'm good with it. But you probably don't get to walk into people's places of business day after day after day and announce what you announce. It just doesn't work like that. The real world doesn't work like that. You don't get to pick a restaurant that you don't name one. You don't like Neal's Grill. You can't come into Neal's Grill and stand on the table day after day after day and say how much it sucks without the people there throwing you out. That's just reality.
It's true. I think we had more patience with it than I probably would have.
I still have patience with it.
I just meant from a people hanging in the stream standpoint.
If people want to, if people want to think you think what you want to think. I can't control it. And here's the truth: I don't know. And one thing I've really embraced over the last month or so is that if I died today, the list of people that I really care what they think is so small. It's infinitesimally small. So it is what it is. If I could go back and change it, I'd go back and change it. But I can't. And so at some point you give yourself peace, and I've done it.
An overwhelming majority are fine, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I that's the thing. That's the part of it that you don't have any control over, and so you let it go. If people forgive you, that's great. I'm appreciative of that forgiveness. If they don't, that's okay. It's okay. I mean, the truth is, I don't know, which is fine. So you let it go, and I have, but you don't get to do that. It's not that it's not fair to me. It's not fair to the other people that are there. I don't really care about it for me. I mean, I wouldn't know Taylor if he walked into the door and sat in the chair that Murray the Moose is in right now. I mean, I just wouldn't know the guy. I guess if he told me, hey, I'm Taylor. But the truth is, people like that would never do such a thing. They'd never say it to your face. Not because there'd be some physical confrontation, but just because they wouldn't.
Well, and to the question, I don't even know what is Ole Miss football here to stay means. What the hell does that mean? Are they going to win next year? Are they going to win for the next 27 years? I mean, in this world of college athletics, good luck estimating anything beyond the next 6 months. I don't know.
I wrote this in 10 Thoughts. I don't even know how. I mean, I respect the people that do it because they're doing it for clicks and it's for fun, but I don't know how you even predict anybody's season right now. How many new faces does Ole Miss have?
60? I don't know.
And that's coming off a national semifinal appearance. How many new faces does Auburn have?
Ole Miss is going to be a really talented team in the fall. There's zero chance about that not being. They're going to be very, very talented. And then people who are very pro-program are still going to say, hey, 8-4 is on the table. Well, is 8-4, quote, here to stay? How do you classify that? I don't know. It's a tough schedule.
But, I mean, here's my point, right?
Yeah.
How many new faces does Auburn have?
Oh, I mean, God, the majority of the damn roster.
Florida.
I mean, everybody.
Arkansas.
I mean, everybody.
So my point is like, how could you even possibly go, oh, yeah, this team's here to stay? What does that even mean?
Well, I mean, here's an example. We made business decisions and expected Ole Miss basketball to be very, very good this year. They're not. They're bad.
Yeah.
However, we coming off the Sweet 16 last year said, hey, I just don't think this portal class is any good. They're going to suck. They're going to be 3-9.
We'd gotten killed.
Oh, my God. It would have been like, how could you ever say that? Not possible. So it's not picking at you. It's the point of you just never freaking know. Ole Miss, again, they went 13-2. You get all credit for that. They'd had one hell of a season. Won a lot of close games. The year before, you lost every damn close game possible. And 8-4 is an afterthought in today's college football world. So,
yeah,
it's pretty simple. They have a lot of resources. They're going to have a very talented team. And every team in that bucket, you hold on for dear life and pray to God you make the playoffs and you're in the tournament and then you see what the hell happens. That's what happens. Miami was the last team in. They finished second. Ohio State was like the damn 8 seed last year. They won the thing.
Yeah.
Get to 10, get to 11, get to whatever the hell is necessary, and then play the tournament. And hope to God that maybe you're healthy when the tournament happens. That's college athletics in 2025, 2026. And we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. We will come back after the break and continue that conversation in a second. Before we do that, let me tell you about AnySpark, the fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available. Whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends, they offer both residential and business packages with speeds up to 2 gigabits. To learn more, register for service. That's nespark.com. AnySpark. Get connected. Stay local.
Ole Miss had a great portal season, and you can too. Do you have an old IRA or 401k with a former employer? Is that money stuck with a bad team, not living up to its full potential? Put that account in the transfer portal and let a fellow Rebel professionally manage it for you. Andrew Seago with Seago Wealth Management will build a playoff caliber portfolio just for you. Book a quick discovery call today at rebelsretire.com or 901-482-2676. Maybe you need tax savings strategies or retirement income planning. That's what they do every day. So give them a call at 901-482-2676 or book a discovery call online at rebelsretire.com. Have a mailbag to you tomorrow. It's presented by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. If you're thinking of making a move, put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously, so call and ask Art how. 612-805-5929 or email Art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com. Trying to figure out when to do a hand raise, guys. Got a couple of ideas that I'm thinking about. We'll see. I'll be out of pocket Thursday, so it's not going to be that day. We'll figure it out. It's brought to you when it is. It'll be brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Tupelo, Batesville, those areas, call Comer, 662-801-1777. If you live in Memphis, South Haven, Hernando, Olive Branch, that area, call Southern, 662-429-4429. And we're brought to you by ENT Physicians of North Mississippi as the largest private ENT practice in the state. Their goal is simple, delivering fast, expert, and comprehensive care for patients of all ages with ENT, allergy, sinus, dizziness, balance, and voice-related needs with same-day or next-day appointments with ENT urgent care for that annoying cough or sore throat, in-office CT scans and same-day allergy testing, and access to their comprehensive audiology team offering a full range of services from hearing aids and custom hearing protection to potential surgical options. ENT Physicians of North Mississippi are committed to removing barriers to care. They now have new locations in New Albany and Starkville, in addition to Tupelo, Corinth, and more. So get more details at entnorthmississippi.com or call 662-844-6513.
Mint Mobile's best deal of the year is happening right now, and get 3, 6, or 12-month unlimited plans for just $15 a month. All Mint plans come with high-speed data and limited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. You can bring your current phone number over to Mint. No contracts, no nonsense. They just take care of you. You can turn your wireless present into a big wireless savings future by switching to Mint. Shop Mint Unlimited Plans, mintmobile.com/MPW. That's mintmobile.com/MPW. Limited time offer, upfront payment, $45 for 3 months. Tax and fees extra. Initial plan term only. 35 gig may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Available speed, coverage varying. See mintmobile.com. And podcast brought to you by Horn Legend. Hornlegend.com. Taking care of you with hoodies, jackets, vests, quarter zip, sports shirts. So many different options there from Horn Legend. They're sponsoring the weekly Around the Horn content item. Appreciate them. Great partnering with them on that. Got more items coming for the spring. Got some caps coming. Got different stuff there. Again, from Horn Legend. Please click MPW Digital in the drop down. Appreciate that. That's hornlegend.com. So the quote, I had it up a second ago, and it was a longer segment, but essentially it was discussing Lane Kiffin, and Stephen A. made comments that one of the reasons Lane should go to LSU is that black athletes would not come to Ole Miss, especially compared to Gainesville and Baton Rouge. Quote, this is at least part of it, the brothers ain't trying to come to Oxford, Mississippi for the most part compared to Gainesville or Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Let's just call it what it is. And then goes on to say that racial tensions in history persist with a reasoning why recruits would not come to Ole Miss.
I will say what I've said many times about this topic. I've lived in 3 states, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. This is the least racist state of those 3. I've been to other parts of the country. In fact, I'll go so far as to say that Oxford itself, I can't speak for the entire state of Mississippi. I haven't lived in the entire state of Mississippi. Oxford itself, how do I say this, is so aware of, I guess, its past and its reputation from an era long gone that I won't say there's no racism, because I don't think there's any place on earth where there's no racism, but it is just not a part of the everyday fabric of life here. I don't know how, I don't know that I'm articulating this in a way that makes sense, but
yeah, that's true.
It's just not, I guess for lack of a better word, it's not tolerated to the point that it just isn't, it isn't visible. Are there people here who are racist? Of course. Are there people in, pick a spot, any spot, Topeka, Kansas, Bangor, Maine, Portland, Oregon, who are racist? You bet, right? I mean, that, of course, of all types of racism. Of course. But, I mean, it just doesn't, if you live here, and I've been here for 18 years, if you live here, it just isn't part of the deal. Look at the way Trinidad Chambliss, forget the court case for a minute. This kid came from Ferris State. Nobody knew. Here's to the college football point. We're going to tie some things together. If I'd taken 100 people in our stream this time last year and said 3 questions. Who is Trinidad Chambliss? On February the 17th, 2025, who is Trinidad Chambliss? Dude, it might not be 100, but I'm in the 90s on I have no idea.
The people that stumbled upon a Division II game on ESPN would be the only maybes of that list.
Maybe. And I'd say, here's the deal. No Google. This is just you and me right now. And then if I said, where is Ferris State?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I mean, we're in the 90s on I don't know.
Yeah.
A year later, and yes, he played quarterback and he had a historic season, but he is black. And a year later, all over this town, there's flags of Trinidad and Tobago, and he's beloved.
Yeah.
Now, if this were a racist place, even with him winning, that wouldn't be the case. This wouldn't be the case. It's reality.
His primary attorney last week was the founder of the Grove Collective.
And going back 30 years, I guess it was 30 years. I lose track of time. I'm terrible with math lately.
What are we talking about?
Well, I mean, Romero Miller,
Yeah.
beloved. And Romero was one of the first people that I guess that was with Tuberville, who turned down, at the time, better programs. And there's simply no debating that in 1990, whatever that was, Alabama was a better program than Ole Miss. That's just a fact. And Ole Miss repeatedly embraces those people. I mean, it's silly. Does the school have some racial stuff in its past? Of course. I mean, the James Meredith thing happened on the campus, but that was in the Kennedy administration.
Yeah,
some people just have to move on.
As this was pointed out in the stream, and I don't know if it's still true or not, but I mean, Ole Miss has had the largest percentage of African American students in the SEC.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, at different points. I mean, I don't know year over year necessarily, but yes, that's been an accurate summation, an accurate stat.
I just, I mean, again, he was trying to make something. If his argument would have been, hey, I think it's going to be easier for Kiffin to get great players at LSU or Florida than it was for him to get them at Ole Miss. You can disagree with that, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's whatever.
Instead, he went deeper by digging into the race thing, which I think personally, it's my opinion, I'm entitled to it. I think it's outdated as it pertains to this here. I do.
Good to see you grind, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Didn't have that on my card for the day. Let's see. Where am I going?
Yeah, Will says you can't put Oxford in all of Mississippi. I didn't. That's why I said that. I've not lived in Macomb or Ridgeland or Richland or I don't know.
He's making up cities.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't know. I've lived in some places. And
hell of a game in the Big 12 last night. Did you catch Iowa State, Houston?
I saw the highlights this morning. I'm not surprised. It's two really good teams. Tyler threw me a question yesterday. If you could have, who was it? It was Duke, Michigan, or who was the third team? Arizona, or the Field. Who would you take? And I said Field.
I would take the Field, but that's really tempting.
Yeah.
Giving me all three.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting 3 1 seeds.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I get that it's a crapshoot. You got to win a lot of games. I get it. But that would be a tempting trio to take on. It's 3 SEC games tonight. South Carolina is at Florida. Florida's in Oxford on Saturday. Florida, a 23.5-point favorite over the Gamecocks tonight, 6 o'clock. They're from the Stephen C. O'Connell Center in Gainesville. Georgia is a 7.5-point underdog at Rupp Arena tonight against the Kentucky Wildcats.
Be a real good
they
spot
are scuffling.
Be a real good spot for Georgia to go get a dub. I don't like their chances, but
they could use one though.
It would take some pressure off.
And at Moody Center in Austin, Texas, the Texas Longhorns are 11.5-point favorites over the LSU Tigers tonight. Those are your 3. So kind of duddy games tonight.
Yeah,
not much there from the viewing public.
The league has some duds right now. Got about 5 or 6 duds in the league. When you get that many, you're going to get dud games.
We'll hit this harder tomorrow, but just quickly, Arkansas at Alabama tomorrow night, Coleman Coliseum, 6 o'clock ESPN. That's a good game.
Oh, that's a hell of a game. What time's that game? 6?
6 ESPN.
That's what time the Ole Miss game is?
That's correct. Ole Miss at A&M, 6 o'clock SEC Network. Oklahoma at Tennessee, 6 o'clock ESPN2. Vanderbilt at Missouri, SEC Network, 8 o'clock.
That's a good game.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
And Auburn at Mississippi State, 8 o'clock ESPN2.
That is not a good game.
It's not a good game. Yeah.
Alabama, Arkansas is a good game.
That's the one.
That's tempo.
Yeah, that's
to get up and down the floor a little bit.
So you and I were having a conversation just offline yesterday. We finished the show looking at some different things with the spring that's coming up, and I think I don't know how we got on the topic. I know I referenced it a little bit. I was talking to Mark Etheridge of D1 Baseball on Sunday. He was in Oxford for Nevada and the Rebels.
The disrespected Rebels.
The disrespected Rebels, not ranked, but they sent somebody here for Nevada and Ole Miss.
In February.
And Mark's one of my favorite people. I love Mark Etheridge.
I like Mark a lot.
He's great. We caught up with family and had a good conversation for a while. But we're going through the SEC, and Oklahoma was kind of rolling a little bit. They went 3-0 in Arlington or wherever they were over the weekend, looked really good doing it, and they're picked 14th in the league. It's just a damn bear outside of Missouri at the end.
Yeah.
And we got talking about Mississippi State. And Brian O'Connor in his first year, State has really struggled recently relative to them, what their expectations are, especially.
Yeah, since winning the national title, they've fallen off dramatically.
And they poach O'Connor from Virginia. He had turned down a lot of schools over the last decade or so that had higher resources than Virginia, and he stayed in Charlottesville and turned them into a power, won a title in 2015.
Yeah.
And he's been very good. Played for a title in 2014, the year they eliminated Ole Miss, and then played Vanderbilt.
He's a very good coach, period.
Oh, hell of a coach.
Absolutely.
Hell of a coach.
Yeah.
And they are very, very deep. I talked about this yesterday. They have went out and spent a ton of money. They have what Mark said were 16 SEC level position players. I think they are a little shaky on the mound in spots relative to a top 5 ranking, but they went and bought those guys too. They've put it together, and he had gone to Starkville for a game, and he was mentioning that just the excitement level was palpable, was football-like, which is the point and where I'm going.
Yeah.
And was dictating the sports calendar for the Bulldogs. Obviously, Mississippi State has been below average to crappy at football for a while. They struggle with the resources on the football side. That's not a shot. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
And that they have fallen off in basketball. They're bad this year in basketball.
Yeah.
And baseball is this beacon, this saving grace for them, and a sport that they love. Because I've been saying this the last 5 years, and I'm right, especially in baseball. I like when teams that have fan bases that really give a crap win national championships. They deserve it. State deserved one. Ole Miss deserved one. Frankly, Arkansas deserves one. All those teams deserve titles that put in that level. Yeah, but they get plenty, so that's fine. Yeah. They put in so much that I don't mind that being rewarded. I find that cool when that fan base gets to experience that for the level of buy-in that they have.
Sure.
So point being, you and I were just kind of talking, and it's interesting because earlier in the week we had the conversation that, and again, nobody in any real value is suggesting Ole Miss punt men's basketball, for God's sake. But Ole Miss is trying to win at all three, and trying to win at all three with a high level. They are pouring a ton of money into all three to be nationally relevant and competitive in all three sports.
Yeah.
They have been nationally competitive in football and in baseball. And basketball went to a Sweet 16 last year, and we talked about it at length yesterday. If you didn't listen, go back. We dove into roster management and allocations and those things for basketball. But you have maybe not turned, but you have the opinion that in certain low revenue relative to the rest of the league schools, picking one is not the worst play as we move forward.
Yes, I want to be careful here because I don't want to do anything that hurts Landon with his show that's on our network.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know the intricacies of Mississippi State. I've said this before, of the 16 SEC schools, it's probably the one that I have the least connections with in terms of just kind of knowing what's going on and people there and stuff like that. So this is kind of an observation. They obviously are behind in football. I don't think anybody would dispute that. And if the numbers that people talk about are accurate of what it takes to really compete in football, they're a long way from that today. And then you look at them in baseball, and they have one of the best facilities in the country.
The best. Not debatable.
They have great tradition. Their people love it. It matters to them. They support it. I kind of think, because I heard some people make almost not making fun, but kind of criticizing, man, they're really all in on baseball because they can't do anything else. I'm like, you know what? Baseball starts in the middle of February. If you win, it goes into the middle of June. It's 4 months. The residuals from that, you get a month on the front end, and you get hell a lot on the back end.
It's half the year.
I mean, Ole Miss won a national championship in 2022, and I'm just now getting to the place where you don't see national championship banners in people's yards.
Yeah.
It's not a criticism.
Yeah.
Just winning's fun.
Yeah, sure.
I kind of don't blame them. And in fact, I kind of think they're doing the right thing. They went out and they got a great coach, one of the top 10 coaches in the game.
Sure.
Chase Parham, no better than me, he says that's the best facility in the country.
Yep,
and if you've been around the SEC, you know there's some really nice facilities. Why not? Go all in on something that's going to make your people happy. And here's the deal in baseball. And I know I'll get to the. I know there's a elephant in the room. I'll address him in a moment. In baseball, if someone says, "Well, our team salary, NIL plus whatever, is 3.5," and someone goes, "Well, you got to have 4.5 to win." Okay, you can probably do that. Just add another $1 million
because the barrier is so much smaller.
Yeah,
the ratios are so much smaller.
Do you punt football? Of course not. My God, of course not. It's too big of a moneymaker. But in a playoffs or bust environment, is there really any difference between 5-7 and 8-4? Really? Basketball's erratic. Look at State. I mean, they typically they haven't been good for a while now. Jans is a really good coach. His name got mentioned with Kansas State. It's hard to win there. I don't know that at any place not named South Carolina, LSU, or maybe Tennessee, I don't know that women's basketball is going to be anything more than niche.
And it's not making money because of the lack of premium seating. It's
right.
Literally not possible.
So at a place like Mississippi State, you probably can make some money in baseball. Not changing the game money, but you're fine. You can justify investing in baseball at a place like Mississippi State. Their fans love it. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of being repetitive right now, but
the key
when people criticize it, to me, I look at it and go, I kind of think maybe they're doing the right thing for the moment. Can you be bad at football forever? No. But maybe if you're them and you go, hey, let's wait and see how this environment plays out for a minute, and then we'll revisit.
But there's two things here. One, you don't necessarily have to, quote, punt football. You can change your basketball revenue by 20% and fund your baseball program.
Yeah.
LSU just did it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me a team won't.
Yeah.
LSU just handcuffed Matt McMahon in 2024, 2025. And frankly, probably about to handcuff him or fire him again here. So it's that they're not going to put $15 million into a basketball program. LSU has made that. LSU is sneaky punting that in some way. Alan, I don't know why we're getting defensive about Ole Miss making money in baseball. They make about $1 million. Is it going in funding a department? No, but it's sure as hell better than losing $5 million.
Yeah.
So
what struck me with Ole Miss last year, I told you this because you and I were at the rival site forever, and then you left early, and I covered baseball in person for the first time in a long time, and I was sort of just struck by, damn, I forgot what this meant.
And see, that's my thing.
And so, it's that way at multiple SEC schools.
Including State, which is the topic. Is number one, it doesn't take that much. Again, Ole Miss spending just over $3 million on the roster this season.
Yeah.
It's 3 and change, whatever. I don't know. Somewhere in 3 and 3.25, 3.5. The top teams in the league, it's not like they're spending 8. They're spending 4.2. I mean, I don't know exactly, but I'm guessing, and I'm fairly well educated on it. It's somewhere in there. Well, that's not a ton of difference. That's not like basketball where if you're spending 6 to get to Kentucky, you got to triple that. And you got to suddenly take all the football money to try to do that. Like it's not the same argument. So it's very doable for State to pull off basketball a little bit if they chose to do that and not even impact football. And again, it's a hypothetical, but I'm making you make sense on the math because again, LSU is punting basketball for all purposes. You can't argue they're not.
No,
They are
are
punning men's basketball.
Yes. And
Right, wrong, indifferent, that's up to you guys. I don't know. Hell, whatever. Here's the thing, though, and it's what everybody's alluding to in the stream. There is a lot of pressure on Mississippi State baseball, though.
Mm-hmm.
Immense pressure.
Yeah.
To do what you're doing and to do it year over year, there has to be a fan mindset shift that, yes, we obviously want to win national titles and be in the College World Series, and we want to do all those things. But to justify it, that's hard. You can't. It's a double-edged sword, so hang with me for a second. The expectation is to go win national titles and be in the College World Series, and you are funding it absolutely for that level. And you should demand that to whatever level. However, I do caution you to not throw the baby out with the bathwater, because if you're going to do this, you have to appreciate the 43-win regular season. You have to go, hey, we are doing this partly to get 9 awesome home weekends a year and to drive interest through the regular season. It's got to be a regular season sport as much as a postseason sport if you're doing this, because that you can't be anxious and pissy the entire regular season because the expectation is win the damn thing or it's a failure.
Right.
To do this, it's got to be a mindset in your fan base. The athletic department can't do this. It's got to be in a mindset in your fan base that we are appreciating each game and each weekend, and that's why we're doing this, to have these crowds and these experiences and these memories and all those things.
Yes.
It cannot be a title or bust mentality,
Nope.
or it's not worth it because, frankly, you're all driving yourself batshit crazy.
Absolutely. No, it's got to be.
And is that doable? I don't know. We'll
know.
see, because they hadn't lost a game yet. I mean, even through one weekend, had Hofstra pulled off 2 of those games, people would be pissed.
Yeah, no,
people would be pissed.
It's got to be environment, and hey, this is fun and a celebration and all of those things. And I don't know that in today's environment with all the what's the word you used the other day? Emotional.
Yeah, emotional.
It's more. It's Chase talking, not me.
Yeah.
Chase says it's more emotional college sports than it's ever been.
I think emotional is the right word.
And so, if that's the case,
I think we go up and down.
Yeah, if that's the case, then you've got to rein that in, because not everybody's going to win. I mean, like, I can name, in my opinion, very uneducated still, but getting more educated by the day.
Okay.
Teams in the SEC that I think could win the national championship. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. LSU, Florida.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, Arkansas, Mississippi State, probably Texas.
Oh, for sure, Texas. Shit.
I mean, well, that's 6. Let's throw in one more. Just you pick one for anybody for kicks and giggles. Vanderbilt, 7. They ain't all winning it. There's a fact. I promise you that. All 7 of them won't win the national title.
All
this
7
year.
of them ain't getting to a super. Somebody's going to get upset.
But they're not all 7 winning the national title this year.
No.
So you cannot make something national title or bust. That's a disaster.
I will say, in Austin, I'll push back a little. He goes, the SEC schools that care about baseball, State, LSU, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Texas, Vanderbilt, A&M, and Florida. No, 15 of them do, because otherwise you wouldn't be spending $2 million a year on your roster.
Yeah, Tennessee cares about it.
15 do. Missouri is the only damn one.
Yeah, Oklahoma cares about it.
Kentucky and Alabama put $20 and $40 million into stadiums. You don't do that if you don't care.
Auburn cares about baseball.
Now, Alabama doesn't give enough resources. That dude's a freaking savant to make it.
Did a hell of a job last year.
He's great, but
like if I were running Arkansas's program and someone said, "Hey, let's just take a deep breath on this football thing and let's see what the market plays out, and let's invest at the top of the basketball and baseball markets. See what happens." Like right now, if you're an Arkansas fan over there in the spring, you're probably okay. Your football team sucked, but your basketball team's good. You play competitive games, fun environment. Your baseball team's good. Just played in where they play, Dallas, Arlington.
Yeah.
You know, had massive crowds. Frankly, some of the crowds in Arlington across the board
were huge.
to the point where it turned my head. Multiple games. How many teams were there? It was 8 teams?
6.
Okay, I thought everybody played 4 games. It doesn't matter.
I thought it was 3. If so, that's the first year for that format, but maybe so. Maybe I'm wrong.
Check on that a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah,
I think there were 8 teams. But it doesn't matter.
Either way.
So you had 6 teams. So you had all sorts of different games, and they were all drawing massive crowds.
Vanderbilt played 3 games.
Okay.
They lost.
For some reason, I thought I saw Arkansas played 4.
They lost to TCU, beat Texas Tech, and lost to Oklahoma State. Let's check real quick. You're fine.
You just have to look at that.
It's cool. I mean,
yeah, I'm not on Twitter anymore and so I lose some. That is one of the losses. I thought I saw where they played 4 games.
Okay.
But they're
maybe they did.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. The point is, even if it's 6 and everybody played 3, they had huge crowds. To the point where if I were a TV person, I would say, what's up with this?
They played a Monday game as well. I did not realize that.
Okay.
So, but it was a different event.
Oh, okay.
So they were still it's weird. So they played the Shriners College Showdown that everybody played.
Who all was in that? It was Arkansas, TCU,
Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, Vanderbilt.
Oklahoma?
Is that where Oklahoma was? I think so.
Okay.
Maybe that was the 6. And then in the Amagi Bank College Baseball Series, whatever the hell that is, They played Tarleton State.
Okay.
On Monday.
So I didn't dream it. Okay.
Which is Fuller Smith's team, by the way.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I love Fuller. Great dude.
And then they played Xavier Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have played 4 games. 3 were in that event. No, huge crowds.
So they're getting massive crowds at those games. I mean, and those are really, again, those are good good baseball programs. Oklahoma State's really solid baseball program. Vanderbilt, obviously.
The Arkansas TCU game had an actual attendance of 22,384.
Think about that for a minute. February. Game's meaningless. That game's not hurting or helping anybody. Actually, it's helping both teams.
It's only helping.
But it has no bearing on who's going to do what. It's basically a glorified exhibition. 22,000 plus in February. Then you get indoors. You don't have to worry about weather.
But still. Oh, I was there last year.
I'm not the guy that's the walking around the Mr. Advocate for college baseball, but I'm looking at it going, huh. And I just, at the risk of being repetitive from yesterday, there are some things about it that make me go, huh.
Yeah, I got one more thought on that. We'll do it.
Because that's a big.
It's a huge number.
Because, I mean, TCU's local, so they were able to get some people there that, they didn't have to buy hotels and stuff.
But still.
But for Arkansas to take that many people down there, those people, from Fayetteville to even Little Rock to Dallas, you're probably staying in a hotel. Those people spending money in February on college baseball.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting to me. Is it to you?
Yeah, it's really interesting. That's why I got one final point. We'll come back in a second. We'll have that. First, tell you about the Jackson Graber Group with GMFS Mortgage. John Graber here locally in Oxford. Help all home buyers with first home, new construction, refinances. Great in the condo financing area. Graduated from Oxford High, Ole Miss alum, local house processing, underwriting, servicing, and more. Wide range of loan options, including conventional FHA, VA, and plenty more as well. Buying a home, refinancing, or just have questions. GMFSmortgage.com/JGG 662-762-4502.
Arnett's Fine Jewelry is a 4th-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons building on North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They offer expert jewelry repair, diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, stackable diamonds, genuine stone bands, pearls, genuine color stones, diamond jewelry, and much more. They're great for gifts, obviously, birthdays, graduations, anniversaries. So check them out at Arnett's. They want to be your jeweler. We're also brought to you by the College Corner. They've got everything you need as we get ready for the baseball season. It's kind of cold out these days. Still a little chill in the air, so you need your hoodies, you need your jackets, your caps. But the warmer weather's coming, your polos, your T-shirts. They've got all of that at the College Corner right here at the Oxford Commons, just off of Sisk Avenue. Plenty of parking. They'll have you in and out and on your way to the stadium in no time with all the brands that you know and love. Nike, Horn Legend, Champion, Antigua, just to name a few. You can also go to collegecornerstore.com. And if you're heading into the outfield, you want to make sure that your cooler is packed with Coors Banquet beer. Since its inception in 1873, Coors Banquet has been brewed in the same tradition of the original 150-year-old recipe. Banquet's crafted with 100% Rocky Mountain water, so when you're enjoying a banquet, you are drinking history. And we're brought to you by Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services, where you can gain a valuable advisory team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement plan. They're committed to providing you with the personalized attention and involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k plan properly and ultimately improve your employees' retirement readiness. It's myargentwealth.com.
Does your home and auto insurance keep going up? With the folks at the firm, a proud Liberty Mutual and Safeco Insurance agency partner, take a look. Find them Ole Miss alum Brian Hayden. They service the entire Southeastern Conference. Let the team of licensed professionals review your insurance needs, put together coverages that protect you and your family without breaking the bank. Schedule a consultation by calling 662-236-1101 or emailing staff at thefirmsouth.com. So two things here. One, and it's a notable point. Out on the stream, Arkansas fan, appreciate you here every day, says Arkansas lost $3.1 million in baseball last year, which kind of seems crazy to me. Football team made $87 million. His argument is you can't fund baseball or you can't focus on it to that level.
Yeah.
But here's the other side of that. Again, I'm not saying punt football. I'm saying you can adjust in different ways because the margins between elite and above average in baseball spending are very small.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot else to get a huge return. And in a return, in a way I'll get to in a second. Also, of that $87 million that you made, a lot of that's getting made no matter what. That's not indicative of a team winning.
Right.
It's just baked in. There's no way to help it. You're in the SEC and you play the sport that brings all the dollars in.
Yeah.
Now, can you generate an extra $10 million off tickets? Maybe. I mean, Ole Miss doubled Mississippi State's revenue in ticket sales this year. So yes, that is a moving number that shows your commitment or winning or whatever it is in a positive way. In that, but a lot of it, it's just there, and it doesn't matter whether you go 0-8 or 8-0 or whatever the hell you do. It doesn't matter. So I will push back in that way of that. And then two, and I say this about a lot of stuff. Each school only has to care about its constituents. What do they want? And give that to them. So by God, if they want baseball and that's what's going to make them happy in the spring, that's the whole freaking point. You don't have to do what everybody else expects you to do or wants you to do. You care about your people. And no, I was in Arlington last year for the same event. Crowds were huge. I mean, Ole Miss got raked over and Texas won in a blowout, but there was a huge crowd for the Longhorns and the Rebels that night.
Yeah.
Ole Miss had a ton of people there. And it's just these early events, in some ways, for the baseball fan, they're kind of the new bowl game because they matter.
That's why I've been telling you what you should do with college bowl games.
They matter, and they don't matter enough that it matters. You know what I mean?
I'm not.
It's only a positive. It's not a negative.
I'm not wrong on my college bowl game take.
And Arlington has that. I don't know what it's called, Texas Live or whatever, with all the screens and whatever.
That's what it's called.
It's a damn party in there. All the fan bases hanging out together, watching the games, watching baseball. It's cool. It's fun.
Sure.
At the end of the day, those early season things, it's that simple. They are fun. And for a lot of people, 22,000, again, I get this is not a huge number that did what I'm saying.
Pretty big number.
But there's some families that went, you know what? That's more freaking fun than going to the Gator Bowl.
Yeah.
You can make that argument.
I've been making that argument. You want to make the Gator Bowl relevant again, move it to week 1.
Yeah. I mean, there are some issues with that I don't like, but I understand what you mean.
But, I mean, if it's going where I think it's going, which is the 24-team playoff, maybe even the 32-team playoff, you can make the Gator Bowl week 1. You can lose the Gator Bowl, and you're fine.
State is really good at baseball this year. I do think they are a little overrated, just simply because of continuity and making it work. I do think they're.
Let me be clear on two things. One, I don't know who's good yet, and two, the sample sizes are so infinitesimally small. God. Just
well, it's like somebody said earlier. Like, is Ole Miss that good or is Nevada bad? It's like, dude, 3 games. And I'm not making fun saying I don't know.
Here's the truth: maybe both, maybe neither.
I do think Nevada can really hit. They have a lot of returners. And I do think that was indicative of a 4 seed without an ace that you could easily see in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Sure. The part that you don't know because it didn't happen is what would Nevada have done had they gone to Starkville or
I don't know.
Baton Rouge or Gainesville or Knoxville or Fayetteville? Who knows, right?
Yeah, I mean, Michigan
maybe
State had a huge weekend, and I don't think they're going to be great, even though they beat Louisville and beat somebody else. They knocked off Dan. And then Michigan went and won like beat 2 ranked teams and won some tournament and went 3-0 somewhere. Do I think the Wolverines are going to hold a trophy? No. But there you are.
It's February. We're 3 games in.
Be 8 games in a few days.
Yeah, and that'll be a better
a little
sample
more
size.
one.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, might not learn a ton against the Red Wolves tonight, but
I think I do know they're starting shortstop. So
oh, is he starting?
He started last year off 53 games.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. He's from Little Rock.
He is.
Okay.
His big sister and my oldest are very, very good friends.
Oh. What year is
Wonderful family.
What year is he?
I don't know. Started his career at Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
Transferred to Arkansas State.
Okay. Yeah, Missouri State, the series in Houston, and then Evansville are the remaining non-league weekends.
I mean,
and Ole Miss is continuing, by the way, the Southern Miss and state games in Pearl this season. Somebody had asked that just simply because there's no tenant for Trustmark Park now. So it's an empty stadium. I don't know how long that will continue, but yes, Ole Miss is in Hattiesburg and Pearl against Southern Miss, and then they play the 3-game set, obviously, and then have the game in Pearl from a Bulldog standpoint. That is true. I will say that Brian O'Connor has a ton of pressure on him, though, by God, because he is having to solve the issues of the other sports in a way and make that fan base happy. And, oh, boy. It's going to be a weekend where you get popped. I mean, Auburn swept LSU last weekend.
Oh, in this league?
Yeah, you're going to get your brains beat in one weekend. It is what it is.
Oh, it's coming for everybody.
Maybe 3 weekends. I mean.
It's nobody will go unscathed in the league.
It's only getting better.
No, you will absolutely have – you will have weekends where a team that –
there's going to be one Sunday afternoon where on our message board, at least one, where you guys go, God, they suck, and it's all over.
Yeah. Or they have a big weekend that everybody goes, oh, my God, look. It's just going to happen. You're going to get somebody, and someone's going to get you. Reality. It's become much more like Major League Baseball, where everybody can beat everybody.
The right team, and Ole Miss would be one of those teams, can easily get into the NCAA tournament at 12-18 would be the first time that's ever happened, and they can host at 15-15. I think there is a world where Ole Miss can host at 15 wins.
Oh, I think it's going to happen. Not necessarily Ole Miss, but someone in the league's going 15-15 and will host.
Because they're going to have an RPI of like 11 or something.
Yeah, their metrics are going to demand that they host.
Yeah. Period, but especially with the commitment necessary for this. Did you see that the U.S. put 2 medalists they got 2 medalists in one of the bobsled events, and it was a 41-year-old woman and a 40-year-old woman, both mothers. You not see that very often. The level of organization and making that work is incredibly commendable. I saw that. Yes.
I've not watched a lot of Olympics. I got into the speed skating Saturday morning for a little while.
I did see that a little bit. Yeah.
Those guys are massive. See the legs on those guys? Dear God. One of those guys kick you and you're done.
It's the skiing, and then where I see that too, where you go, oh my God, is the cyclist.
Yeah.
And the level of thigh and hamstrings and quads and everything. You go, oh, that's different.
I felt bad for the American skater that fell twice.
Yeah.
Clearly just mentally had a moment.
Well, and didn't have to do that. It was wrapped up with a much, much easier situation and chose to do that instead. That's what everybody was kind of baffled by. U.S. third in the medal count as of right now. Norway has 29 medals. Italy has 23. And the United States has 19 as of 9:16 a.m. this morning. Norway is very good at skiing. I know we're all blown away by that fact. But they have been very, very impressive. U.S., I think third. I don't know how in the gold medal count they have 6. Norway has 13 to date. So, yeah. Oh, I did like this. Did you see the Swedes catching the Canadians cheating in curling?
With keeping a finger on it.
Yeah, with the camera set up even a different place.
Yeah,
They had one of their camera operators go to an angle that usually you don't go to, but did it intentionally because they knew it would catch the Canadians cheating on the start line.
And then confronted them about it, and the Canadians said they weren't cheating.
Yeah, but they had video.
It's because they kept a finger on the stone?
Yeah, don't get me into the intricacies of the curling.
I watched some of the curling the other night, and I just don't know that I completely understand it.
Well, it's the whole point of curling, and one of the reasons why people like it is it's, at least at the very basic level, very easy to understand. We're just trying to put the stones in the bullseye.
Circle.
I mean, yeah, it's you can watch it with plenty of technical, and you can watch it just drunk on a Saturday night going, we're just trying to hit the bullseye here, people. Let's not overthink it as we move forward. So, yeah, that's why people like curling. All right, take a final break. Tell you about Chicory Market, chicorymarket.com right there on, it's shuffleboard, on North Lamar in Oxford. Let them help you out with all your produce. Got great options from around the country. Got specialty items not found anywhere else. Prices continue to improve. And they have great products throughout their dry goods, so many different things there, including their vendors, John Steele Creamery, Home Place Pastures, Vine Bottle Shop, available for you. Again, that's Chicory Market and chicorymarket.com.
Brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits, simply not available to other travelers. John traveled the globe for 37 years before he got into the travel business. He knows the extra attention that's needed to make a special trip, one that creates a lifetime of unique memories. So get in touch with him, give him some parameters, give him a budget. He'll give you options you probably won't find on your own. 901-494-3387, or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. That's corinthdental.com.
People are expecting A.J. Brown to get traded this offseason now. He's been very disgruntled with the Philadelphia Eagles and their offense, especially this past season, not getting the ball. Jalen Hurts not really throwing the ball very let's see. He was 18 in 2016, I guess. So he's 27, 28,
okay.
something like that.
Still got a little time left.
Yeah, something like that. Late 20s. But I saw The Athletic this morning saying they expected him to get moved. Said a little less likely, but also probable that Max Crosby moves on from the Raiders as well.
Oh, yeah. I would suspect.
They are both 28 years old.
Okay.
Just saw that here. Raiders just hired Clint Kubiak as their head coach.
NFL wide receivers, their peak is. At what point would you NFL wide receiver do you look at them and go, you're a little gray? 31, 32?
Yeah, into the early 30s, I would think.
Yeah.
Gives you about 10 solid years before you really fall off. Looks like Tyreek Hill might be done. He's out this year, out maybe the next. The injury definitely does not look good for the shiftiness required in his game.
Father time, baby.
Everybody. Brady and LeBron are hanging on as long as they can. I mean, just fighting like hell. Real Wicked says Yale's football head coach just resigned for health reasons.
Oh. That's unfortunate. Best wishes to him.
Do you find yourself, as we're getting into spring training now, I think the Braves' first game is on Saturday. I get, obviously, Cubs, but other teams that you're just sort of interested in that you'll follow loosely throughout the season?
I was kind of interested in Justin Verlander going back to Detroit.
Is he going back just to retire as a Tiger?
I think so.
Okay.
One more, finish his career where it started.
Guaranteed Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if you win 15, let's say, again, I get it, whatever, but let's say Verlander wins 15 games, okay?
Okay.
That puts him at 282.
Okay.
Is there a world where you hang on to get 300? Because you will be the last ever 300 winner if you could find that number. And now, look, 33 wins is a crap ton of wins. But do you contemplate it if you stay healthy? Somebody will play you.
I mean, if you can stay healthy and you still want to do it, he's in his 40s already.
Yeah. Probably not, but I just found that.
Probably not. And no one's ever getting there again.
It's done.
Yeah.
MLB Players Association head just stepped down.
That's not surprising.
Interesting time for it.
I mean, we're 10 months away from I just don't know in this environment, you have a work stoppage of any length. I don't know that you recover from it.
Justin Verlander, 34 wins from 300. I was one off. I thought he was at 267. He's at 266. He is tied with Bob Feller and 2 away from Jim Palmer.
How old is he's 41?
I can tell you very fast.
I mean, it's hard to believe he's pitching till he's 43.
He's 42.
42.
No. He turned 40. Sorry, he turns 43 in 3 days.
Yeah, no, he's this is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
So he will end up somewhere between Mike Mussina and Ferguson Jenkins, probably. Just shy of Burt Blyleven. Good company.
Oh, I mean, he's had a hell of a career.
He's currently tied for 37th all time in wins.
He's had an amazing career.
Any other era, and he'd be like 17th right now.
Yeah.
Bobby Matthews retired with 297. That would suck.
Yeah.
That would suck. Tommy John retired with 288. Blyleven, 287.
Burt Blyleven.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree about the schedules, by the way. People talk about reducing the number of games and stuff. I don't know.
Why? It needs to be that many. There's a purpose behind it.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason that, like, someone says lower it to 100-game season.
No, God, no. The level of change. It's why college baseball is so difficult, because the sample size is so bad or so low. Even at 56.
Yeah.
A player can be way worse or better than their year shows because they just got off to a crappy start for 25 games.
Yeah.
Which is not nuts.
No.
And when you see the crazy BABIPs and different things over 70 games, you go, hey, next year, I'm buying that. That's
yeah.
We're gonna go back to the other way there. I'm in on that. You guess what? Verlander, obviously the lead. What do you think number 2 is for most wins of active players right now?
Is Kershaw active?
I did not see him as active. He is not active. Okay. He would be 2 ahead of the person that is currently active in second.
God, I have no idea. You're going to tell me and I'll know right away. But
yeah, of course.
I don't know.
Max Scherzer.
Oh, okay.
221, though, Neal. The number 2 active pitcher right now is at 221.
Yeah, it's just...
Number 3 doesn't have 200. There are 2 active players with more than 200 wins.
Who's 3?
I'd have to go to another list because I'm only here on my list.
Okay.
Tim Wakefield and Adam Wainwright both finished with 200 on the dot.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. The more you know.
And neither one of them are Hall of Famers.
No.
Both had hell of a careers, though.
Oh, yeah. Looks like Baseball Reference does do a good job of telling you who's active on the list, like in real time. Can't find that.
So Kershaw he's done? He's walked away?
Yeah, he is not listed.
Okay.
Oh, actually, they're highlighted. So, God, there's nobody else close, I don't think. Hold on. I know it's bad pod, but give me a second. Number 3 is Garrett Cole.
Oh, wow.
With 153.
Wow.
Garrett Cole, when he gets 2 more wins, will pass Doug Drabeck and Andy Bennis at 155.
Yeah. Drabeck had a period in his career where he was dominant.
Number 4 active right now is Charlie Morton. 147.
Yeah.
Chris Sale, 145. Scrolling, dude. Sonny Gray is 5th at 125. There's your stat.
Oh, yeah.
There's your stat. Sonny Gray, 125 is 5th.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy stat. Yeah, 154, whatever. That's the same difference. But no, I'm not into some wholesale change at all. I'd be fine with 154, but that doesn't change anything. I think 162 is necessary in baseball more than 82 is necessary in basketball because of slumps and shifts in the way the game is played. Now, I don't think basketball should drop to 50 or anything. I'm not saying that, but
yeah, I mean, the NBA plays all those games because it's a moneymaker.
Well, the playoffs are what they are. Yeah, of course.
You know, you play. It's about gates. It's about money.
Yeah,
it's what it's about. I mean, you know, not to get on an NBA topic, but LeBron James is such a polarizing figure, and yet nobody listened to him when he said what he said recently, which I thought was pretty interesting. Here's a guy that's played in the league 21 years. I mean, you can think what you want about LeBron. You cannot question his longevity. And he said it's harder to play now than it was 20 years ago.
Did he really?
Yeah. The game's more physical. The game's faster. The analytics have sped the game up. It makes it harder on the body.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't like him, but he's an absolute basketball expert. You wouldn't have to do a lot of cross-examining to declare him an expert witness in a.
Well, actually, the court would say no because I heard the Joe Judge part on Thursday. No, it's not a scientific way to prove anything.
Fair enough.
He would be speaking as a layman, as they said.
I would take LeBron's word for it on basketball.
Yeah.
He's played in the league for quite some time.
Yeah. So, all right, we will wrap there for the day. Rebels 24/7. Again, women's basketball tonight, 6 o'clock against the Vols. Rebels 24/7 will be there for that. And then baseball today, 4 o'clock, Arkansas State. I will be in attendance for the Rebels and the Red Wolves. Owen Kelly from the St. Louis transfer getting the start.
What time's that game?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock today for that. 4 o'clock tomorrow as well against Jackson State. So take care. We'll talk to you tomorrow.